In the arid expanses of the ancient Near East, where the sun beat relentlessly on nomadic tribes traversing the lands of Edom, Midian, and Seir during the late Bronze Age around 1550 to 1200 BCE, the deity Yahweh first emerged as a shadowy yet potent force, known in English traditions as Jehovah. This god was tied to the Shasu nomads mentioned in Egyptian inscriptions from Pharaoh Amenhotep III's era, 1390 to 1352 BCE, who referred to YHWA in the land of the Shasu. Yahweh appeared as a weather and warrior deity, fructifying barren lands with rain and leading celestial armies in battle, his presence evoking volcanic fire and metallurgical creation, perhaps as a patron of smiths in the Timna Valley mines. Biblical poetry, like the Song of Deborah, paints him marching from Seir, causing the earth to tremble and stars to fight. A god of storms and conquest introduced possibly through trade routes or the Canaanite Midianite hypothesis linked to Moses. In early Canaanite mythology, El was the high god and father of the Pantheon, with Asherah as his consort and mother of 70 divine sons. Yahweh was likely integrated as one of these sons assigned to Israel, as evidenced by Deuteronomy 32 to 8 to 9, where El divides nations among his sons. Thus El can be seen as Yahweh's mythological father, and Asherah as his mother in this pantheistic framework. As these southern influences met the Canaanite world in the early Iron Age, 1200 to 1000 BCE, Yahweh integrated into a polytheistic pantheon dominated by El, the paternal high god, his consort Asherah, and the storm god Baal. The Israelites, emerging as a Canaanite subgroup, blended cultures seamlessly, with Yahweh initially a lesser deity absorbing El's wisdom and authority, becoming epithets like El Shaddai. Asherah, the fertility mother, paired with him in folk practices, as Yahweh merged with El, inheriting Asherah as his wife or consort, as evidenced by Kuntalat Adrud inscriptions, c. 800 BCE, invoking Yahweh and his Asherah, alongside drawings of divine couples and bovids. Similar mentions appear in Khirbet el-Qom inscriptions. Baal's rivalry intensified, with Yahweh adopting his cloud rider imagery while competing for devotion, especially in fertility rites. By the late Iron Age, 1000 to 586 BCE, amid the monarchies of Israel and Judah, Yahweh rose as national patron, his cult centered in temples and high places. Kings like David unified worship, but polytheism persisted. Bull figurines symbolizing El-Yahweh hybrids, and pillar statuettes representing Asherah. Prophets Elijah and Hosea condemned Baal's cults and Asherah, as in Elijah's Mount Carmel showdown. Remnants in texts like Deuteronomy 32 to 9 show Yahweh as El's son, allotting Israel. Psalm 82 depicts Yahweh in the divine assembly of El. Conquests reshaped faith. Assyria's 722 BCE fall of Israel spurred Judah's reforms under Hezekiah and Josiah, centralizing worship and purging idols, including Asherah poles from Yahweh's temple. The Babylonian exile, 586 to 539 BCE, catalyzed monotheism, with 2nd Isaiah declaring Yahweh sole creator, influenced by Zoroastrian universalism. Post-exile in the Second Temple era, Yahweh's name became ineffable, Festivals like Passover reinforced his exclusivity, evolving into Judaism's strict monotheism, suppressing earlier polytheistic elements, including Yahweh's familial ties. This odyssey from polytheistic warrior to monotheistic eternal God reflects cultural adaptation, leaving a legacy in Abrahamic faiths amid ongoing debates on his metallurgical or Edomite ties. Ever wonder about the true origins of the name Jehovah? Let's dive into some fascinating history. Research suggests that Yahweh, the name often rendered as Jehovah, likely began as a storm and warrior god for nomadic groups in the ancient Near East, specifically in regions like Edom and Midian. These early worshippers were people with olive to brown skin tones and dark hair, much like other peoples of the region. Initially, Yahweh was just one deity among many in the Canaanite Pantheon, sometimes even seen as a son of the high god El. Over centuries, Yahweh became the national god of Israel and Judah. It wasn't until major historical events, like the Babylonian exile, that the idea of Yahweh as the one and only universal creator truly took hold. So when we visualize these ancient stories, picturing a diverse cast of brown and black people isn't just inclusive, it's historically accurate.